the heart of the vast East African savanna, where the golden grass swayed under the endless sky, lived a young Maasai warrior named Kiro. Known for his bravery and skill with the spear, Kiro was deeply respected by his tribe. But what set him apart was his drum, a sacred heirloom passed down through generations, said to hold the spirit of his ancestors. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the plains, Kiro sat by the fire, his drum resting beside him. The elders spoke of an impending threat, a group of raiders from the north, known for their brutality. The tribe prepared for the worst, but Kiro felt a strange pull, a whisper in the wind that seemed to come from his drum. That night, unable to sleep, Kiro took his drum and ventured into the savannah. The moon bathed the land in silver light, and the silence was broken only by the distant calls of nocturnal creatures. He sat under an ancient acacia tree and began to play a rhythm, one he had never learned but felt deep within his soul. As the drum beats echoed across the plains, the whispers grew louder, and Kiro felt a presence around him. Shadows danced in the moonlight, and from the darkness emerged figures, warriors clad in traditional Maasai garb, their faces stern and eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. "Who are you?" Kiro asked, his voice steady despite the fear gripping his heart. One of the figures stepped forward. "We are the spirits of your ancestors, summoned by the sacred drum. The threat your tribe faces is real, and we have come to guide you." The spirits told Kiro of an ancient ritual, one that would harness the power of the savannah itself to protect his people. But it came with a price. Kiro will need to sacrifice his own life to complete the ritual. Torn between his duty and his fear, Kiro asked, "Is there no other way?" The lead spirit shook his head. "Courage, young warrior. Your sacrifice will ensure the survival of your people. You must decide before the first light of dawn." Kiro sat in silence, the weight of the decision heavy on his heart. As the first rays of the sun touched the horizon, he stood, resolved. "I will do it." The spirit guided him to a sacred hill, where the ritual would take place. As the sun rose, Kiro played the drum, each beat resonating with the power of the land. The earth trembled, and the wind howled, carrying his rhythm across the savannah. Back at the village, the raiders approached, their figures silhouetted against the rising sun. But as they neared, a powerful force erupted from the ground. The very earth seemed to rise in defense, creating an impenetrable barrier of thorns and fire. The raiders, terrified, fled into the wilderness, never to return. The villagers, awestruck by the sight, rushed to the sacred hill, only to find Kiro's drum lying silent, with no sign of the young warrior. The elders knew what had happened and mourned the loss of their brave protector. From that day on, Kiro's story became a legend, a tale of courage and sacrifice whispered around the fires of the Maasai. The sacred drum was enshrined in the village, its power dormant but always ready to awaken in times of great need. And on nights when the wind howled and the savannah whispered, the villagers would say they could hear the faint echo of Kiro's drum, a reminder of the warrior who gave his life to protect his people.